My ultimate step-by-step wholesaling guide to make you millions of dollars. Specifically, I want to give you my $1.3 million wholesaling real estate system so you can make over $1.3 million a year or a little bit over $100,000 a month. Now, this is a video for even beginners out here and for anyone just looking forward and really anyone getting started in wholesaling real estate. I'm looking for wholesalers who want to get their first deal and then eventually graduate up to start making millions of dollars every single year. Now, the coolest part about the system is you don't have to spend any money at all to start with this system. It will not cost you any money. The reason why is because we're going to make some money without spending money. And then when we make that $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, we're going to reinvest that back into systems that are just going to put gasoline on the fire of wholesaling and make us millionaires. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Zach Ginn, and I currently make millions of dollars every single year wholesaling real estate. Now, for the past 8 years, I have been in this thing called wholesaling. And I made 100K my first year, and then eventually 200K my second year, and eventually till now where I've been able to basically double my income every year where I can make millions of dollars. I have taught hundreds of thousands of wholesalers how to get started in this business, and I currently run the largest wholesaling real estate course in the country, freewholesaling.com, with over 250,000 students. And the coolest part about that is it's a free course. That's why it's awesome. It's freewholesaling.com. But let's kind of specifically get into the system and how you can start implementing it and make a ton of money. So the first thing to create a system of how to get rich wholesaling, and more specifically, we need to gather information about where we live, our real estate market. Now, going through the free course, freewholesaling.com is going to show you a bunch of things in there, but really the number one thing you need to know is, are you in the right market or the wrong market? A general rule of thumb is if the median home price in your county where you live in or your city is below $500,000, that should be a good wholesaling market. Now, the only thing I would add on top of this too is you want to make sure that the county's population is over 100,000. Of course, there's plenty of areas in rural Nebraska where the average house is 50 grand, but if there's not enough people living in there, there's going to not be enough buyers looking to buy our real estate deals. So make sure the population's high enough, but the houses just aren't too expensive. If you meet that rule, you're going to be good. Unfortunately, this leaves out a lot of areas like New York City, Los Angeles, Miami, but this leaves other metro markets where they're amazing for wholesaling, like Atlanta, Georgia, Houston, Dallas, Oklahoma City, Knoxville, Tennessee, and so many more. So if you're watching this and you're in a saturated market or you're international, overseas, pick a market that fits those two criteria. We give you a lot of ideas at freewholesaling.com and actually list my top 50 markets for wholesaling real estate and the top city for every single state for wholesaling real estate. Now, just getting started and really setting the system up, we sort of have to get a good feel of it before we start going crazy. Think about like getting your learner's permit before you start driving a big semi truck, right? We want to start driving in a nice car, get the fundamentals down before we start going in the race car, right? So let's start off with a nice little Toyota or Honda on the basics of how to drive, and then we get in the crazy Ferrari, which is the system. What I'm going to tell you is let's just make our quick $30,000, $40,000. That doesn't sound too crazy, right? What I'm going to tell you to do is go after what we call government lists. These are lists you get from the government that cost no money at all. These are code violations, probates, fire damage properties, water shutoffs, tax liens, tax delinquencies. These are lists of people that aren't paying their mortgages, people that aren't paying their taxes, people who have ugly houses that code enforcement's going after, people that passed away. All these motivating factors of people that are going to want to sell their property for cash. I would start pulling this list and either texting or calling them. More specifically, I think every single month, you should pull these 6 lists getting started. Number 1 is the probates. Number 2 is the arrest record list. Number 3 is the code violations, the liens, water shutoffs, and fire damage properties. If you want more information, go to the link in the bio for freewholesaling.com and we break down in detail how to pull these lists step by step. So to get started with the system, starting out, I would say pull at least 500 records of any of those government lists. So out of those 6, pull at least 500 of those records. Organize it in a Google Sheet. Get the seller's information from a website called cyberbackgroundchecks.com or truepeoplesearch.com. And then I would start calling. I would start texting these sellers. You can use a dialer like googlevoice.com, which costs no money at all, where you can start reaching out to these type of sellers. Doing this, you're going to start finding leads. Now, there's plenty of other ways you could start doing deals too. One thing I would add on the system, especially starting out, is to do something called driving for dollars, which is basically getting in your car, looking for ugly houses, and going to work. Heck, I even like you to implement something called reverse driving for dollars, where you basically put sticky notes on houses saying that, hey, this is Zach, got a quick question about your property. Please give me a call back. And you'll get inbound leads doing that. So those 500 lists, if you're going to call and then text that list, should be about 5 or 6 hours a week of work really starting out. I'm assuming you have a full-time job. Now, if you have extra time, I would drive for dollars, get more leads, call those leads. But really starting out 10, 15 hours a week at most, right? Not too crazy. On top of this too, I want you to go to zachdiscord.com, my Discord, where you're going to start posting your marketing results. The reason why we do this is it keeps you accountable. Being in a community of other like-minded wholesalers who are doing the same thing, number one, keeps you away from these crazy $10,000 or $15,000 coaching programs, right? Because you have accountability and a community for free in zachdiscord.com. But on top of that too, you're not lonely. It gets really lonely wholesaling, and to be in a group of other wholesalers doing the same thing, some camaraderie, and ultimately you can get people to help you out with your systems for free to make you do even better. Then from there, you're just going to keep taking action probably your first month or two, pulling these lists, calling them, texting, putting sticky notes out indoors, and eventually you're going to find some leads. You're going to get a property under contract. You're going to write that contract, and then we got to go find a buyer. The best ways when you got no money to find a cash buyer is going out here on Facebook and making posts. Specifically, I like going to the real estate investment groups and just saying that, hey, my name is Zach. I'm a wholesaler that gets properties under contract, and I'm looking to see if anyone's looking to buy any more rentals. It's a great way. You can even search their emails through the groups. I teach at Wholesaling.com. And heck, you can even cold call the for rents on Zillow and find rich landlords. I call them up, say, hey, this is Zach. I'm actually not looking to rent out your property. I see you have a rental listing here, and I'm seeing if you're looking to buy any more rentals. I'm a wholesaler, just got a deal locked up on a contract in that same zip code. I have a lot of live streams where I talk about this, and I post them in the free course, and you get a lot of good buyers there. What you're gonna do is see if they wanna buy it, sign the assignment, get your check, and boom, you make your first $20,000, $30,000. Then from there, you're gonna have to decide what you wanna do. If you start making a system of calling the most motivated lists, trying for dollars, you should be able to make around $20,000 a month doing this, or 1 to 2 deals a month. That's not bad. That's $250,000 a year. That's where most wholesalers get stuck. Now it's time to actually start making millions of dollars. This is what I call putting gas on the fire, which makes it blow up. And the best way to put gas on the fire is to just do more of what is working. So data is going to be king here. Figure out what is working. If you are pulling 1,000 pre-foreclosures, 1,000 probates, and 1,000 code violations every single week, and you find you get 2 deals a month only from the code violation list, we're going to do more of the code violations. If we find lists that don't work, we're not going to do them. It's monkey see, monkey do. What is working, we're going to do more, and what is not working, we're going to do less. And more specifically, we are going to put gasoline on the fires that are already big, not the ones that aren't burning. So if I'm finding I'm making $14,000 driving for dollars, the tax lien list and putting sticky notes on that list, that is what I'm going to put more of my efforts into. Heck, if cold calling a high equity list on X leads is giving us the most deals, we're going to keep doing that. The number one rule here is do not stop what is already working. And then figure out what free channels and free marketing that is already working and start implementing paid systems on that. So like I've said before, if you are going out here and making $10,000 or 1 deal a month on the probate list, cold calling it, the number one thing I'm going to tell you to do is start paying money to go send probate letters out. In freewholesaling.com and in mailingmastery.com, we actually show you how to send mail out to probates, which makes a lot. I don't even make a cent on that, but it's an amazing system to do. Print a letter, send it to the post office, pay for the stamp, and start getting inbound leads. And then if we figure out we're doing 2 or 3 deals a month, just cold calling certain lists, all by ourselves, we can start hiring VAs and virtual assistants to go out here and do more calls than us. So if I have 3 cold callers, they're doing more calls than just me. We're increasing the volume, which means we're getting more leads, and more leads is more deals and more money. This is where things get crazy, because now we're going to start implementing paid software in the game. Once we start putting paid software in the game, we're going to help double our efficiency. And hands down, the only software you need for wholesaling real estate right now is X Leads. xleads.com is the ultimate all-in-one software, and I'm not making this an advertisement, But if you start implementing in your business where you're making 30, 40K a month, it's going to easily double it because you're going to get better data, better lists. You're going to be able to comp your properties instantly. And the best part about it is you are going to easily dispo your deals in an hour because it's the ultimate disposition software. Most other disposition softwares you have to pay $8, $9, $30, $40,000 for X leads for like $159 a month. You're able to get all that. So the reason why you're able to go from 40K to 80K is because on X leads, you're going to double the amount of buyers you have. You're going to be able to create deal listings. You're going to be able to blast your deals out to these said buyers. And when you get in front of double the cash buyers, you are going to find more of these buyers paying more, which is going to make you more money. If you want to know more about how to use X leads to double your assignment fees, just go to freewholesaling.com. We have a whole X leads section, or just go to the X leads YouTube channel. But now we have paid softwares and systems and we're at about 80 grand a month. We just start adding marketing from there. And then now from there, the best way to go from 80 grand to 120 grand a month is not doing any more work, but it's just changing the way we do things. And so if we find we're doing 8 deals every single month from calling and texting these lists, what we're going to do is just one simple concept that helped us grow our business by 40, 50%. That's stupid simple. We just direct mail the list. That's right. We just send a postcard, an offer postcard specifically, to our motivated sellers. So I'll go inside of X Leads, pull a large high equity list, and just send them direct mail. So I would go to mailingmastery.com. That is our free direct mail course, but it shows you exactly how to pull a list from X Leads, use the best postcards in the game, and then boost our business like crazy. Now, this is a warning. Direct mail ain't cheap. You're in a system like this, you're going to be spending 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 grand every single month. But this is for the people making 80, 90 grand a month that are trying to get to 120 grand, right? You're going to spend 10 grand and you're going to make 30, 40, 50 grand. You usually get a 4 to 5x ad spend back in assignment fees, which is better than pretty much any other marketing channel out there. But only because you found the data that is working, you're just going to direct mail the offer postcard on there from mailingmastery.com, and boom, you went from 80 grand to 120 grand a month. And now you have my whole system of how to make $1.3 million a year wholesaling real estate. Now I might be like, Zach, well, what's next after that? That's where I'm basically at, where I was at that point where I made $1 million, then 2 million, then 3 million. And it's like, what do you do after that? Well, what I basically did was I went nationwide, right? I stopped in my own local market and started doing virtual wholesaling in that same process in Detroit, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas. And then from there, the world's your oyster. And now I'm JVing like crazy and doing deals like that. And my business keeps growing because of just one simple concept, which I have to just keep stressing to you. But figure out what's working, test things out like crazy. You'll start making a ton of money in this business. That is how I was able to become one of the top wholesalers in the country by assignment fees, by just being simple and doing the things that work, but test and be willing to take some L's in the process. One quote I want to leave you at is, you can't spell millions without a couple L's. And so you're going to have to fail at a couple things, but ultimately keep doing what's working and you're going to start making a ton of money in this business. Guys, if you like this little system here and you want to start implementing it and get more information about the systems that I talk about, which I'm going to give you absolutely for free because I'm not a wholesaling guru, just go to freewholesaling.com, my free real estate wholesaling course. And if you want to check out X Leads, the ultimate wholesaling software, just go to xleads.com. We'll see you soon. This is Zach signing out. Have a blessed one.